All right, it's the next morning. Transmission fared through the night. I was afraid that one was going to blow up. That's the double over. I was afraid that was going to blow off, but I think I got it good where it wouldn't. There's a little spot rust in there, but that's okay. That ain't no big deal. So everything looks good in there. So I've got the auxiliary box over here. So what I'm wanting to do is reseal all these gaskets in here. I wish that I had a new O-ring kit for it, but they didn't have them. They had one kind of close to me. They could have had this morning probably. But the other one, so there's one here and one here. One they had pretty close, and one they would have had to get from like Texas, which would have been days. So I'm just gonna, this thing, like I say, this thing shifts flawlessly. So I'm not too concerned about the O-rings. I just wish that I had them while I was in here. But I need to get this off, and I need to get this off. And in order to get this one off, from all I can understand, I have to take this bolt out, this shift fork off, in order to pull this up so I can get the gasket under it. And I'm not sure, but I think it's the same way with this one. I'm not sure that this I'm gonna call it a plunger, whatever, will go down past this. I think it has to come out this way, maybe. So if in that case, I have to take these out, and then I'll have to put new wire on it, i.e. a clothes hanger probably. But I'm gonna call and see if I can get a new nut for this, because I had to heat it up pretty hot. Melted all the nylon out of it. All the nylon's gone out of it. So my only other option is gonna be Loctite. So, and then this transmission has been rebuilt. See how that's got a wear sleeve on it? That is, and I can feel that in there. So I don't know that a new seal is gonna make that not leak. So I need to see if I can get another one of those. I seen one on Weller.com was $88 freaking dollars. So I don't know. I'll see. I'm gonna call Fleet Pride. They don't open until 8 o'clock, so I need to call them and see if they have one and how much it is, I guess. Because I can feel the ridge in that where it's been rotting, so that needs to be replaced in order to do this properly. And I need a new bolt, so new nut. So anyhow, I'm gonna try to get this apart. All right, I got everything apart that I'm gonna take apart. So got this out. Here's the bolt for that. There that is. So the O-rings don't look terrible. I'm gonna clean everything up though. Make everything look better. So, like I say, I do wish that I had more O-rings because it's apart and everything, and I've debated on just making some. There's an O-ring down in there. So this is like, this is kind of got like a wear mark there. I don't know what's acceptable, what ain't acceptable. I can tell you this thing works, so. It worked when I had it in there. So, but I think I'm just gonna pretty much clean everything up and get everything back together. So I might not put it back together. So when you get the O-ring kit, they give you like a silicone lubricant to put in there. So I might see if I can find something equivalent to put in there when I go back together with it. So I'm gonna wait until 8 o'clock, which is creeping up pretty quick. I'm gonna call and see if I can get another nut for this and another sleeve for the yoke, and and then go from there. So I'm gonna finish kind of cleaning all my surfaces up and get everything nice to go back together. All right, I got everything cleaned. I took all these parts in there to the bench wire wheel. Got everything cleaned up, and I'm not gonna. So nobody has that shim for the yoke, but they do have the nut. So I can put the nut on there with it in the truck or whatever. That's neither here nor there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go back with all this. So I'm not gonna get the silicone stuff to go in here. Whatever it is, what it is. So I'll just use some oil, 50 weight, which is what this takes. So I'm gonna go back with all this now. So about 98% of the time when I use a paper gasket, which is what all these are. So you see the imperfection in this. Now this is a pretty deep imperfection, but any imperfection in this, I always use this copper stuff. I love this stuff. I've never had a problem. Now you'll see on some gaskets, see the red on there? That's like a glue that kind of bonds it. I'm pretty sure. But so what I like to do is I like to spray all my paper gaskets with this, and that helps fill in any of those imperfections. Just a little copper, basically just a copper coating that goes on it, and helps to seal everything up. So anyway, this is just a little tip that I like to do. It isn't hurting anything. If anything, it's helping, which is what it's supposed to do. All right, so I got everything back on the transmission, except the rear main seal cap thingamajigger. So the seal is like rubber, and it has to like actually go down in the housing here. So it turns out that if you don't have the proper driving tools, your wife's lids from her jars may work. All right, we got everything put back together. Got the back box on it, got the slave cylinder on it, bell housing. I resealed the front, this here. I resealed this here, the front bearing cover. I don't know if I needed to. It was a son of a gun to get off there. So, but it's resealed. Every seal on it is new. The PTO, I glued it on because those things are thin, and a lot of times they won't take a gasket anymore after factory or whatever, and they start leaking. But every seal on it is brand new. So I've still got to tighten that nut down. I actually forgot about that, but I've still got to tighten that nut down, the big nut on the back here. So I'm gonna have to take that cover off and put it in a couple of gears so that I can refoam that. Okay, so I forgot to take a video, but we tried to take, so I couldn't get it into 2 gears because I'd already put the plate on there, the shift works or whatever, and if I try to take that off, I'm going to ruin that gasket. So, because I put that copper on there, and it's already been cinched down and everything. So we tried to put a pipe in here, and it wouldn't work because I didn't have enough clearance to get the pipe out far enough, and the pipe was thinner than this. So what we finally did was we laid a pipe over here. After we got the socket on there, we had enough clearance here to put a chain. We chained the pipe to it, and Daphne stood on it, and I pulled it down. So I'm pretty sure it's at least 500 pounds, at least 450 nevertheless. So kind of crazy how that, I don't understand why that isn't tighter than that. But that's how it is. So I don't, the gasket they had, the seal they had in there was like a National. It wasn't even an Eaton Fuller. And so maybe when they put the sleeve on there, because in order to put the sleeve on there, you have to machine this down. So maybe whatever they did there, that, I don't know. Maybe I should have just left that off there. A little dust cover. It'll be all right.
Alright, so this is how we do this. We got a regular jack with a plate on it that I've drilled a hole or cut a hole in, and then I just take the thing off there that it comes with, so jack up cars, and then I use the same nut to hold this plate on. And then these welds are crappy because I use that little bitty crappy welder, and I don't trust them, so I don't use them. I need to weld them on, I need to put them on a swivel. But anyhow, and then we got a ratchet strap there, and that's how I was pulling it under here when she was videoing. And then I had her go all the way out there and pull on it while I get it positioned in here. I pushed it into the clutch, and then she helped keep everything positioned. And then to get it into the pilot bearing, I come up here. And I've never had to use my tape measure before, but this time I used my tape measure to make sure that it was really, really close all the way around, because we were having a little bit of difficulty trying to line the darn thing up. But and I don't want to sit here all night, so got it just right, and it just slid right into the pilot bearing as we were trying to get everything tuned in. We had about 1.5 inches. We started out about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, about 1.25 inches gap, give or take. And by the time we kind of got it lined up right, it went in. Usually we can eyeball it, but anyways, it's all in there. And now we have to. I didn't get this board under there enough when I've done it. I've put these 13 speeds in here, this truck, a few times, and I about know, like, I know I have to have this block. It's like a 4x3 or whatever, a 3x4. I know I need that up there, and I know I need a 2x down here, but I put it in the wrong, I didn't put it under there enough. So where the engine is, or the transmission is twisted a little bit. So I just gotta rotate it. I had her put this on the bumper, just a little taunt, so she didn't do a very good job. Look at that. I have to have her tighten that, just so that they don't roll back while we're trying to roll this. So yeah, buddy.
Well, it's in the truck. So this shifter plate, when I first had this transmission in this truck, is when I had the 7.3 in here, the original engine. And that stupid valve cover is leaking. I changed that gasket, and it was a cork gasket. I didn't like the gasket. It wasn't leaking there before. I might have to see if I can find a rubber gasket, the OEM style one. When I had this transmission in here before, I had put a different plate on the top, this fork housing. But I had taken that fork housing off of a RT09513, and the forks were too big for this, and I know that because this housing would not fit on that other transmission. I'm pretty sure the forks were too big for this. So when I went back with this one, I thought, I don't want to have any problems. I just want to put this back in. The reason I had put the other fork housing in is because this one, the shifter sets back. And so it's like 1.5 inches or something like that to the center of the shifter, back farther. So, be good for a walkway here, but I'm going to have to see what I'm going to do. That shifter is going to have to be bent more or something. So, but it is what it is. So, the hole in the floor is still going to work out just fine, I think. So, but anyways, I got to hook all my air up. I got to put the drive shaft back on. And pretty much that's it. Hook the clutch linkage up. I think that's it. So, yeah, buddy. Alright, I got it started up for the first time after getting the transmission in here. Transmission isn't leaking air, and it's building the air way faster than it was before, so that's good. I didn't test the transmission yet. I know that's probably frowned upon, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna let it build some air here. I'm gonna test it. Well, it works. Shoot, yeah. Turn my light off so you can see me.